Well, hello, everyone, and welcome here to Las Vegas, Nevada. Here at the Doolittle Convention Center, Nick Anastas, Danny Jackson, along with Kelsey Wright-Johnson and Etonye Yingafa, getting set for the third place game, Session A, between Scouting for You and Point Streak. Both teams coming 1-1 after 2 days of action. The championship was just played here on this floor, and now the, as we mentioned, third place game will take place in just a moment. Danny, your thoughts here on both these teams as we get set for what should be another competitive ball game?
Well, I had the opportunity to watch this Scout for You team play. I didn't get much of an opportunity to see this other team play, and this Scouting for You team, they're pretty explosive as I'm looking at them. They got a lot of size on them. And like you said, just kind of battling out for third place right here. We were able to see that first game, and it was a really good championship game. So I'm just hoping that they can match the intensity here because their last game really, kind of left
set the bar high.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, a lot of points in that game as well. Over 200 combined points in the championship game. So a lot to live up to, we'll say it like that. Lavelle Cook, one of the guys to watch for Scouting for You. He's their leading scorer at 28 points in game number 1, finished with 20 in yesterday's loss. And he's been a staple here the last couple of years, plays pro ball down in the Dominican Republic and averaging 23 and 8, wearing number 8 today in maroon. The white team, that is Point Streak, and they've been led by the number 1 overall pick in the Session A draft. That's Brian Bridgeforth. Got a lot of length, Danny. It's 6'10", 225 pounds, very athletic as well.
Well, this will definitely be a really good matchup. The guys just still here in Vegas, day 3. Just playing their hearts out, playing what we're out here doing, just trying to, get looks, get experience. And they're right here in front of some coaches, able to play for these professional coaches, able to play in front of some of these scouts and just show what they can do out here. And, it's been a long 3 days. Some of them are tired, some fatigued, but they're still out here trying to get a name on the roster.
Yeah, everybody healthy for the most part. And you mentioned the scouts in the stands. In fact, perhaps most of the occupants here at the Doolittle Center are affiliated scouts with one team or another, and one country or another as well. A lot of different countries represented here, and makes sense to the Global Basketball Summer League. 10th annual event, and again, it's a 2-session, week-long event or so, a little longer than a week actually. Session A wrapping up today, and then Session B will kick off tomorrow. Of course, we'll have all the coverage. You can find us at the Global Basketball TV on YouTube. All right, just about getting set to start. We will check in with Kelsey Wright-Johnson at some point relatively shortly and get the action underway. And, well, let's highlight a few more players. We'll stay with Point Streak. Another good player is Chris Dees out of St. Bonaventure, 6'9", 260 pounds, one of the bigger players in this tournament, one of the bigger power forwards for sure. And on the other side, another perhaps big guy to watch out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham, Tosin Mihinti, 6'9", 224 pounds. Both players should be assertive on the glass and provide a low post presence for each of their squads this afternoon. The officials, as usual, a trio rotated in. And this Global Summer Basketball Tournament also serves as kind of a training ground for the officials as they aspire to get to the NBA. So we've got coaches trying to help their guys get to the next level, the players, of course, and, well, the officials are trying to up their games and get jobs just like seemingly everybody else. All right, we are, looks like just about set to get going. Final word from each of the coaches. As you see there, Coach Ricky George over on the right for Scouting for You. He's been here all day and has helped with some of the festivities as well. Even had a few words of advice for another team earlier this morning, but He's got his guys now ready to go. Again, they'll be in the maroon jerseys, black shorts, while Scouting for You, or excuse me, while Point Streak is technically the home team here in this third place game, wearing their white jerseys with the black lettering and black shorts. 4 10-minute quarters. The clock will stop after made baskets in the final minute of the first 3 quarters and the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Both teams look pretty relaxed here, coming out onto the floor, smiling, chatting with each other. But things are about to get pretty intense pretty quickly here, I'd imagine, as these guys really compete hard. Again, both squads won their day one games back on Friday and fell yesterday in the winners bracket semifinals. So this winner, or the winner of this game, will take home the third place honors after the Finnish select team beat out the Nevada Desert Storm for the championship, which was played earlier. Tip is won by Point Streak, and here we go as we are underway in Nevada. The defensive squad, Scouting for You, opening up in a man-to-man. Inside, it's Bridgeforth. He dumps it underneath to Janarius Middleton out of Jackson State, and that's an easy bucket to put them on the board. It's 2-0.
Great look underneath, just finding a guy cutting straight to the basket. Easy pass, over the head, layup.
There's Anton Waters as a whistle blows, and what's this? A 3-second violation going to be called here against Nate Morrell. The 6-foot guard out of Weber International was caught camping out. Again, NBA rules, Danny, for the most part, to try and help these officials and these players really get used to the game at the pro level.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, being here, trying to get to that highest level. And the officials have done a really good job so far. They're still learning, but, I mean, you can't tell the difference. You know,
right.
They're out here. They're calling these games. There have been no real big issues.
No, they've called it pretty well, as you mentioned, pretty tight for the most part as well, and they're being supervised, of course, as well. So they got to be on their game, frankly. 2-1 here, 30 seconds in. Here's a spin move, and that tip is up and in. It's Waters who's able to follow it and get a big right paw on it. First field goal on the board. Make it 3-2. Meanwhile, Alaw, backdoor. Middleton, a tough catch here in the lane. Going to pull it back out. And now Morrell going to go right back inside. Middleton back to the basket. He's got the size matchup on the near block. Little fadeaway shot short off the front iron. And a weak side rebound is controlled by the defense. Here's Cook. Very dynamic scorer. He's going to pull up long, too, here on the baseline and knock it down. And Danny, he's got some range. Yeah,
he's filling it early right here, just taking that one-on-one matchup. If he gets going early, it could be a long night for the guys in white.
There's a matching shot there on the far side. Is Darius Paul, 6'9", out of Robert Morris University, a former 20-point-per-game scorer, gets his first field goal. Meanwhile, Cook showing the footwork and drawing a foul here on the fadeaway. He's going to head to the line for 2 with his club out in front by a point, 5-4.
He's being aggressive right here. Probably didn't like that loss they took yesterday. Wanted to play in the championship game, but still showing that skill set, showing why he's one of the best players in this summer league time after time.
Yeah, he's been here before a few times and was very impressive on Friday in day one action where he was the tournament's high scorer, 28 points, and was somewhat, I guess, contained yesterday in that loss, but still finished up around the 20-point plateau yet again.
And he is a former co-MVP for this summer league, so he's used to being one of the best guys out here.
He's off to a good start so far. Cook with 4 of the 7 for Scouting for You, and now Point Streak trails by 3 nearly 2 minutes in. Here's another jump hook for Middleton. His third shot attempt, no good off the back iron. Rebound is going to go to Andrevius Smith, who comes into the front court, has Waters on the baseline, and the big man able to tiptoe that baseline and score it over the lip of the rim.
And just like you said, tiptoe, his footwork is incredible for a big man. He gets to where he needs to be, the spots he needs to be, and he's a very good rebounder.
9-4 early. Long shot by Smith. Got it up and in. Excuse me, that's Nate Morrell, the guard out of Weber International. Bank open on Sundays, apparently. Meanwhile, dribble drive, little floater there. That won't go for Ismaila Kaliu. The other way comes Bridgefort. Hit on the arm, but he gets it to go. And one opportunity for the former #1 overall pick in this tournament. That's Brian Bridgefort out of Washington Adventist University. And you see there, Danny, the length and athleticism enables him to take the contact and a chance for one more.
Right, and I mean, at how tall is he at 6?
They got him listed at 6'10".
Yeah, 6'10". It'll be really hard for anybody to stop him in transition.
Meanwhile, he misses the free throw, but his team grabs the offensive rebound and gets a fresh 30, or 24, excuse me. Meanwhile, Paul for 3. That's a line drive miss from the far wing. And the rebound is controlled by Andrevius Smith. Lobbed inside. Bridgeforth got a piece of it, and it's going to be stolen away here on the near side by Nate Morrell. 3 minutes in, 1-point game. Point streak looking for the lead instead. Ball out of bounds and rewarded to Scouting for You. Last touch there, apparently, by Morrell. Here's Pedro Foster Jr., another one of the many guards for Scouting for You. He's played in Halifax, Canada. Lob here to the guy to watch, Lavelle Cook. One-on-one, looks for the fadeaway, goes up into the defender. No contact there, or no whistle, rather. There was a little contact. Instead, it's a turnover. No argument from Cook as the ball is rewarded to Point Streak. Chris Dees, we talked about him in the pregame. He just checked in. 6'9" power forward out of St. Bonaventure for Point Streak. Point Streak trailing by 1 with the ball. Inside, it's Bridgeforth. Thought about the dunk, instead lays it in with the right hand off the glass.
He's getting to a good start early there, finding him underneath, just getting his hands in the right places under the basket, and he's right there with it. So
yeah, now 6 unanswered by Point Streak. Here, this one blocked out of bounds. It'll stay. Stay right here. Paul gets a hand on the inbound pass, nearly picked that one off in the corner. A lot of length here for the guys in white. Point Streak. They forced a lot of turnovers throughout their first 2 games. Again, it's a third-place game for Session A here of the Global Basketball Summer League. Inside Cook. Did he dribble out of bounds? Yes, he did, under the basket. Second turnover for Cook. And a chance now for Point Streak to extend their streak, 6 unanswered points. Here's Chad Watkins. He also just checked in. Going to run the show here, a 6'1" point guard out of Point Loma Nazarene. He's going to fire a 3 on a step back. That one in and out. Bridgeforth, no. Paul, yes.
I mean, and rebounding is just such a big thing right here for this Point Streak team. They're getting their hands on pretty much every offensive rebound, getting second and third chance opportunities.
It's now 8 unanswered points. Meanwhile, Smith down the lane, got it to go with the banker. Needed the bucket, he delivers with the left hand. Coming up at the midway point, first quarter. We've got a 1-point game yet again. Now off the steal. Scouting for You, looking to capitalize. 3-pointer, Andrevius Smith around the rim and out. Rebound for Bridgeforth. Bridgeforth, long outlet for Paul. Paul off the glass for Bridgeforth, and there's the dunk. They're going to call it off, though. Offensive foul. Andrevius Smith drew the charge on the pass. Paul is not happy. And one of the highlights so far of this 3-day event wiped off, as that off-the-glass dunk will not count.
And that was just an amazing job of Smith being able to just get his body right there in position, seeing the fast break, and maybe even seeing that the alley was coming.
Right.
And just kind of blindsiding the passer.
An excellent defensive play. It wipes off 2. And with that, we have a timeout here with just over 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. It is 12-11 in favor of Point Streak. Again, the winner gets the third-place trophy. I'm sure everybody involved in this game would like to have played in the championship, but that's the thing. We've had a lot of close games so far, and, well, unfortunately, somebody's got to lose.
Yeah. I mean, so much talent here, and you kind of you try to spread the talent out.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're on the good end of that, and sometimes you're not so much because you never know who's going to play well together, who's going to mesh together,
right.
what coach they're going to get. And, I mean, the Finnish select team, they were just so much more talented than everybody, but it wasn't even on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just ended up with a good crop of guys who could play together, and
they were fun to watch.
They were.
They put up, 112 in the championship victory earlier today. 12-11 as we hit the midway point and resume here in the first quarter. Right to left is scouting for you. They go inside. Smith left, no. Smith stays with it, goes back up and scores again.
And he's been so active right there in that paint under the boards.
Andrevius Smith off to a good start with 6 points. And he puts the squad back in front 13-12. Meanwhile, a wild shot there by Bridgeforth is off the glass, and now a whistle on the rebound attempt. Will keep the action down at this end as a foul against the defense. Again, nobody can really foul out, as the rules for this Global Basketball Summer League allow for 10 personal fouls. So, I mean, you've really got to try to foul out if you're going to, but the team foul situation a little different as well. That's 10 team fouls per team to get to the bonus. Meanwhile, a wild three, and we've only had 2 each side. Wild three missed by Devon Alexander. Rebound the other way leads to Cook. Smith, athletic finish there at the rim again.
And Smith, not even one of the taller guys out there, just really doing everything he can under the basket, showing that athleticism a little bit.
Yeah, he's a leaper. Meanwhile, on the drive, Keith Shivers has it there with the right hand. Took it into the lane with the left and able to finish with the right. That's the first bucket for Shivers, who played in the MEAC at Coppin State. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Still a 1-point edge. Waters into the lane, draws the double team. He's got Cook in the far corner. One dribble, long two, no good on the line drive miss. Weak side rebound scooped up by Oliver. Oliver looking to run. Shivers, one time far side for Chad Watkins, excuse me. But he stepped out of bounds, it looks like, on the far side. So scouting for you gets a break. They get the ball back. They've got a 1-point lead.
I like Point Streak's pace right now. They're pushing the ball in transition, and they're trying to get everybody involved.
Cook, meanwhile, with Shivers on him, goes into the lane and hits a fadeaway.
I mean, he's just making it look way too easy. 3 guys on him. He said, hey, you got to put the whole team on me.
Fun to watch for sure. Meanwhile, Watkins' runner, in and out, no good. Now Cook controls again the other way. 3-point lead for scouting for you as they look to extend. They led by as many as 6 earlier. Many as 5, excuse me. One dribble, elbow jump shot for Tosin Mahinti is going to drop. He's got a big body as well, Danny, 6'9", 245, and that's his first field goal. 19-14, suddenly it's a 6-0 run by scouting for you. Can Point Streak end it? Down to 10 on the shot clock. Long two is in and out, no good for Dees. Rebound tipped and controlled by Foster Jr. He'll bring it himself into the front court. As Smith, who weaves his way through traffic, score it with the left hand, and one. That is Andrevius Smith off to a great start. The first to double figures now with 10. And a chance for one more. His squad has scored 8 unanswered, and they've got their largest lead on the board at 21-14 with 2.5 to go in this first period. All right, we are just about ready to send things over to the sidelines for the first time, as Etonia Yangifa is set to make her debut here at the Global Basketball Summer League. And we'll slide things down to Etonia whenever she's ready.
Thanks, guys. Before the game, I spoke to number 2, Ishmael Kalilu, about what his team needed to do to come out with the victory. He told me that they needed to push the ball more in transition, get stops on defense, and attack the paint. Back to you guys.
Here at the Doolittle Convention Center in Las Vegas. Nick Anastas along with Danny Jackson. Kelsey Wright-Johnson will join us soon. And Etonia Yangifa doing a good job on her first hit. Right, Danny?
Absolutely. Everybody's out here, trying to get better, trying to learn. And, hey, that's what it's all about.
That's
right.
You know,
everybody getting their chance in front of the camera, on the mic.
Yep.
play-by-play, color.
On the mic, behind the camera, behind the scenes.
And as I mentioned to the other Nick earlier, Nick Mattis, that we have the best job here because not only are we learning and getting better, but we get to watch this great group of talent.
Right.
And some of these guys have definitely, as I mentioned earlier, been overlooked, but we get to still see them.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen every second, basically, since the tournament kicked off, and we'll be here through its duration as well. Again, Session B kicks off tomorrow. Session A wraps up today. Loose ball out of bounds after the miss, and we'll keep it right here. Scouting for you will maintain it. They lead by 7, 21-14. They've scored 8 unanswered. Both teams have stayed primarily in the man-to-man defensive look, half-court set. Haven't seen a whole lot of zone at all in this tournament, and seen a little bit of full-court press as well. Meanwhile, there's a shot clock issue. Scoreboard going to be readjusted. Not a bad crowd today, Sunday afternoon. Some folks just curious, others looking to escape the heat. But for the most part, there are professional eyes in the crowd, as we've talked about, scouts for a number of different leagues and teams. Somebody's watching all the time, as they say. All right, they're going to lob it inside. Mahinty wants one-on-one. He goes middle. He's got the hook shot up and in.
Great poise, great footwork right there by the big guy, backing his man down, stepping across the lane, finishing on the other side. Look like a real professional there.
Second field goal off the bench. Meanwhile, the match is up and in. Watkins wanted it, and he got it. Elbow from 16. Back and forth we go as we hit the 2-minute mark in this first quarter. 23-16 now. Long two. Foster got it up and in. That one just inside the three-point arc. Pedro Foster Jr.'s first field goal. Largest lead up on the board now for Scouting for You. 9 points, 25-16. Long two. That won't fall for Shivers. Rebound off the bounce taken by Foster. Outlet for Cook. Cook on the far side wants the elbow, and he's got it.
He's so good in that mid-range, just rising above. He makes that shot in his sleep.
He's made it look easy, as you said. Off to a great start so far in this first quarter. His team has a double-digit lead for the first time, 27-16. Meanwhile, D's a long two. The big man trying to show the range. Can't get that one. Rolls out. Rebound, Andrevius Smith. Scouting for You, looking for more, up 11. Smith off the give and go, can't get it to fall, but was hit on the way up and will earn 2 at the free throw line. Scouting for You starting to really move the ball well, it looks like, Danny, as the offense has come easy so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, and everybody's just kind of doing their part right now. Scouting for You, Smith, he's all over the place right now, but he's just one of those type of players that he's just going to give you what you need, whatever the team needs to win. One of those athletic guys, go get rebounds,
right,
get layups. You know, not going to do too much. Stays within his game.
Yeah, he's had a good tournament so far, and he's off to a good start so far in this one. Meanwhile, substitutions, 3 fresh legs, or 3 fresh players, I guess 6 legs, right, come onto the floor for Point Streak, including the big fella Bridgeforth after a brief rest. Free throw, good. 28-16, down to 1 minute to go in this opening quarter. Point Streak runs a double screen up top, and now they throw it inside. It's Middleton. Draws a double team. Skip pass taken in the far corner by Morrell. 3, though, won't go. Loose ball here on the near side. Cook's going to watch it go out of bounds, and it will stay with Point Streak. Going to restart the shot clock as well, a fresh 24. Pass taken in the high post by Morrell. He's going to pull it out with it between the leg dribble. Bridgeforth with a touch. Big man trying to use the dribble to his advantage. Now Morrell a little out of control, but he draws a defensive foul. Whistle comes with just under 29 seconds. And the foul goes against Keith Shivers, his first. or I'm sorry, that's Foster. And that is Foster's second. So Morrell with a chance here at the free throw line. Try and slow the momentum of the opponents here. It was back at fourth until about the midway point of this first quarter, and then, well, it seems like Scouting for You started to break away a little bit. They had an 8-0 run, and they've got a 12-point lead up on the board here at the moment. So that's the challenge here for Nate Morrell in the Point Streak squad. Meanwhile, Coach George on the Scouting for You sideline doing a little bit of coaching while sitting down. He's been a busy man, as we mentioned, all day today. Free throw up and good. First one for Morrell is up and in. And the right-hand shot won't cooperate on the second. In and out, no good. A 1-for-2 trip. Rebound of the defense. And now we've got about a 3 or 4 second differential between the shot clock and the first quarter game clock. Cook, far corner, wants baseline, spins left and draws a foul again. Shot just a little short, but he was hit on the right elbow.
And I like how he didn't settle for a jump shot right there, really trying to make his presence inside because he can go inside out. And getting to the line, that'll just open up that mid-range for him to come down and do what he does best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's looked good here so far. Whether driving to the rim, he's gotten to the line a few times. And, of course, he's hit the perimeter J as well. He's going to hit the free throw here to reestablish the 12-point advantage. Got a smile on his face as he looks to go 2 for 2. He's already in double digits. And he's got the second as well. 30-17, shot clock off. Final 10 seconds of this first quarter. Into the front court, Shivers with a right-hand dribble, comes near side, goes down the lane, kicks to Paul in the far corner. 3 is too strong, and that will do it for the first quarter. A great start for Scouting for You. They went on an 8-0 run at one point, and now lead by their largest margin, 30-17, after 1 quarter of play here so far. Point Streak trying to regroup. Any suggestions, Danny, on what they can do to slow down Cook or Smith? Or
well, I mean, I think it's easier said than done. You know, when trying to stop these guys, just they look a little fatigued. Maybe it could just be first quarter jitters. You know, they need to force these guys to take outside shots because they're getting everything they want around the rim, and then whatever they're not getting seems like it's getting cleaned up, and these guys are getting to the line. They need to force them to make outside shots because they haven't really taken that many 3-pointers.
Right.
And if on the other end they can get the ball in to Bridgewater a little more often because he started out really well. Bridgeforth, I'm sorry. I caught him Bridgewater.
There you see on the screen, that's Coach George addressing his guys. He's got a 13-point lead. And, again, he's also heavily involved behind the scenes with the organizational aspect of the Global Basketball Summer League. He's more than just a coach. But he is a good one at that as well, as you see him. He
is a former Coach of the Year last year. His team won the entire thing, and you got to – know that he's over there giving them some nuggets, some golden nuggets to not only for this tournament, but also, you know, just to take with them.
Golden nugget. You use that by?
No pun intended.
By coincidence, I guess. It's where, of course, the entire personnel is staying here in Las Vegas, not just the players, but the media and the coaches for the most part as well. All right, second quarter action set to begin. A high-scoring first 10 minutes. 30-17, and the club with the lead has the basketball as well. Scouting for You. Waters back on, hands to Smith up top. Smith goes at his man one-on-one and goes right to the tin with a right-hand finish.
And that was such a powerful move. Using that body, that left shoulder to just kind of get that separation, ball over it right there in the middle of the basket. Great move.
Meanwhile, the other way comes Shivers, had it blocked, recovers. Now Bridgeforth along 2. That one's short on a line drive miss. Powering out off the defensive board is Kalilu, but not on the same page with his teammate Smith, and there's a turnover, a rare turnover so far in this first half for Scouting for You. 15 is the lead. Point Streak with their work cut out for them as they come left to right. Morrell as Bridgeforth, who's given room. Now he wants to come into the paint, and he scores it there with a right hand. Well, there's a flash of what he can do, Danny, for sure, using that size to his advantage.
And I like to see them get it into him a little bit more with that size advantage, his long arms. I mean, it's not too many answers out here for him.
The other way comes Foster, leaves it for Waters, 10 to shoot. Near side, it's Kalilu, steps into a long two, and that one too strong. Weak side rebound for Morrell, and now point streak the other way. Morrell double team, gets rid of the basketball, has a man near side that shivers, 3 off target. Ball tipped, far sideline, kept alive. And now scouting for you right to left with numbers. Smith to the rim, got it to go off the glass.
And Smith with the nifty move right there, acting like he was going to pass it behind, finish with the finger roll at the basket. He's showing me a lot of things right now. Haven't seen this team play too much, saw him play once, but he got a bunch of tricks up his bag.
Meanwhile, Bridgeforth got the shot to go and took a shot in the mouth in the process, holding what looked like one of his teeth there. Hopefully they're all still intact. Apparently they are, but here's a three-point play opportunity after he took a pretty good whack.
Well, luckily for them, we don't have the option of replay. No way to review it to see if it was.
I'm looking on the floor now to see if I can see a tooth, but I don't see one, which is good, of course.
No Isaiah Thomas then.
Right. 34-22. Down the lane, Waters after a wild dribble, a wild shot high off the backboard. It stays there, though, as Kalilu goes up and under. Can't get that. Mahaney, though, finally gets the finish from 2 feet out.
And those are those type of plays that if you're point streak, you got to be able to get the rebound. You can't let them get 2, 3, 4 opportunities at a basket. That just sucks the life out of you.
Meanwhile, Paul has an answer on the baseline. Brings his team back within 12 at 36-24. Mahaney, 6 points early on, wants Bridgeforth one-on-one in the post. Double team comes down and knocks the ball away, and it's turned over.
Great team defense right there. Help side down from the wing. Just getting that hand in there when you're the big guy. 2 dribbles and you got to go up. You keep the ball low, little guys come to get it.
Yep. That's Morrell who came in and poked it loose, and now Morrell comes left to right with the dribble. Chance to cut it to 10, maybe 9, after trailing by as many as 15 a moment ago. Shot clock down to 10 for point streak. Screen and roll up top, Shivers, back to Morrell. He's got the bigger Waters on him, and Waters is called for a hand check here.
Well, I don't know if that's the matchup they want. Waters out there on on the wing, on the perimeter, trying to guard the point guard.
That'll bring the shot clock back to 14. 3 minutes off this second quarter clock. And Cook back on. Scouting for U's top scorer, replaces Smith. Those guys have really shouldered the offense so far for Coach George. 10 to shoot. Morrell near corner. Calls off the screen from Bridgeforth. Comes middle with the dribble. Now Bridgeforth has it on the wing. Got to hurry. Shot clock at 2. Into the lane. He's bumped, and a foul is called just south of the free throw line.
He was bailed out right there. Really nowhere to go. Too much movement on the inside from the big guy.
Yeah. Dribbled into a second defender and was fortunate to get a whistle. Back to Bridgeforth. The shot clock goes back to 14, and Bridgeforth is fouled on his way up. I think this is going to be a shooting foul.
And when you're down, that's what you want to do. You want to force it inside. You want to get to the line. You want to finish at the rim as much as you can, especially when jump shots aren't falling.
First for Bridgeforth is up and in. Again, he was the first pick, from what I understand, on Thursday when the players for Session A arrived here in Las Vegas. There was an introduction, and then there was a draft with the players present. And
well, his statistics definitely caught the eyes of coaches. He was the player of the year in his conference.
Right.
And his size and his length. It makes sense.
He put up some monster numbers at Washington Adventist University, over 19 and 11, not to mention nearly 3 blocks a game. Here's a steal. Take it away in the passing lane as Middleton got his long right arm on it. Point streak now with a chance to cut it to single digits. Instead, Shivers is rejected from behind by Waters. And as we await the inbound pass, we're going to restart the shot clock yet again. I'm going to put it back to 16. It was never restarted or reset to begin with. So 16 seconds to shoot here. Shivers eyes the rim. Cook, the defender, switched up by Waters. Shivers inside with Cook on him. Make it Bridgeforth. Bridgeforth up, too strong on the right-hand shot attempt. Middleton knocked to the ground on his air ball, but was he fouled? Yes, he was. Was hit there by Mahinty. It's number 2 and the 5th team foul in this second quarter. Nearly 4 minutes in, 36-26. Scouting for You leading point streak in this third-place game with Session A. Scouting for You has led most of the way, including by as many as 15, but they've seen their lead now trimmed to 7 at 36-27. One more free throw to come.
Well, this point streak team is doing exactly what they need to do, as I already mentioned, trying to get to the free throw line. Force the ball inside. If you want to have a chance against this team, get them in foul trouble. Get those big guys out of there.
Meanwhile, Middleton is able to capitalize on both. He's cut the lead to 8, 36-28. Foster for Cook. Cook quiet over the last couple of minutes on offense. Let's see what he does here. He's going to get rid of it to Waters. Waters will heave one up and knock it down.
And Waters has this guard-like presence about his game.
Right.
He showed a little niftiness on the handle a little bit earlier, and he just dribble pull up right there. He can get inside. He's very versatile.
He hit a three-pointer yesterday as well. Meanwhile, Paul for 3, near side wing. That won't go. Tipped back out, though, by Bridgeforth. New shot clock. Swung far side. Watkins for 3, up and in. That's Chad Watkins. Out of point, Loma Nazarene able to get the stroke, and now some pressure defense in the backcourt. Broken by Foster, and now it's Cook on the far side. His team up by only 7 after leading by 15 earlier. 10 to shoot. Waters wants another deep one. High arcer up and in. The big guy. As we talked about, Danny.
He's like, Coach, put me on the wing. I don't want to be inside.
He's got his club back up by 10. Meanwhile, Bridgeforth goes right at everyone there. Short, though, on the runner. Loose ball, tangled by Paul. Paul up, no. Paul a second try, yes. Right hand off the glass, he sticks with it. And that is going to lead to a timeout. It's called by Coach George of Scouting for You, as he wants to talk things over with his club. 41-33, Scouting for You still in the lead at the midway point of this second quarter. Nick Anastas, Danny Jackson, Kelsey Wright-Johnson, and Atonya Yanifa here at the Doolittle Convention Center. Starters back on the floor for Coach George, as Andrevius Smith returns after a short rest. Mahinty stays along with Kalilu and Cook, and the red-hot Waters, who knocked down that three-pointer a moment ago. Waters going to run the show here, at least on this trip, as he brings it into the front court right to left. Waters goes at Bridgeforth, spins, fires, misses off the glass, but he's got help from his friends. Kalilu able to bring that one in with the left hand. 43-33. Watkins, 2 defenders on him. Smith got a piece, but there's a blocking foul. It's on the help defender, Mahinty, who doesn't like it. Coach George questioning the call as well. That's number 3 on Mahinty, but again, he's not really in foul trouble. You're allowed 10 personal fouls before you foul out. That is the 16th foul, though, of the quarter against Scouting for You. We'll see free throws at 10 team fouls. They may or may not get there with 4.5 to go before halftime. Watkins hits the first, misses the second. Offensive rebound for Paul. One dribble across the lane. Bridgeforth up and in with the right hand. Scouting for You's lead now just 7 at 43-36. Cook, he's been quiet in the second quarter. Got all of his points in the first, except for right there. He goes right to the rim with the left hand.
He said, hey, I heard somebody talking about me over there. Let me get him excited again.
Meanwhile, an alley-oop. Paul to Bridgeforth.
And
goes in off the glass, pretty there.
Did you see how high he got up on that? I almost thought the big guy was going to dunk it, just put his hand over in the rim.
Oh, to be 6'10" and young, huh?
With athleticism.
Right. 45.
He's not just tall. He can jump.
Shot clock at 8. Smith to the rim. Nope, but a foul. Went around Watkins and drew the contact on the wrist. They're going to hit Watkins with the foul. It's actually just the first team foul against Point Streak in the second quarter. We've seen 6, as we mentioned, on the other side. So Smith, who's in double figures early, chance to add to that total here at the free throw line. We'll get you the updated statistics when they become available, hopefully at halftime. Free throw is up and in off the back iron. Lead back up to 8 at 46-38. 3.5 to go first half. One more coming. In and out, no. Waters tried to tip it. Bridgeforth, I think, touched it last. Yes, he did. So a break for Scouting for you. It'll stay here.
And that's why you always rebound. You always go after the ball. You never know what can happen. Make your presence known. Get in there. Try to get an extra point for your team or extra possession.
Cook. Kept at arm's length by Paul. Off the dribble. Jumper there, no. Ball loose near side. Smith on the floor. Gets it over to Kalilu. Up and under, no with the right hand. Good effort, though. Finally, Point Streak comes the other way. And they're going to turn it over. Too hot of a pass there from Bridgeforth. Not on the same page with the intended target, Dees.
And that's where some of that inexperience or not, lack of playing with together, really comes to play. They don't have that camaraderie, that chemistry. They've only been playing together for 3 days.
Right, literally. They didn't know each other just a few days ago. Meanwhile, Smith got the inside position, got that to drop. Bridgeforth goes right at a crowd following the make and draws a foul at the other end. It's going to go against Kalilu. That's his second, team 7th. And it comes with just over 3 minutes to go in this second quarter. 48-38 now. So here's Bridgeforth. He's coming up on the 10-point mark unofficially. But he can't add to the total there as he misses the first in and out. Second is up and good.
10 for 2. Brian Bridgeforth makes the second foul shot.
1 for 2 trip, 9-point lead again. Cook, far wing for Scouting for you. Kalilu inside, Waters, one-on-one near post. Pivots, fires, jump hook is there.
I mean, he's just showing off right now. Inside, outside. What hasn't he done in this quarter? We've seen everything.
He's been the go-to guy in this second quarter, that's for sure. Can he stop Bridgeforth now on the other end? Forces a miss. And a rebound to Mahinty and a foul over the back on Dees. 50-39, high-scoring first half in this third-place game here at the Global Basketball Summer League. Session A, I'm Nick Anastas with Danny Jackson. Tonye Yangifa holding down the sidelines, and we've got a timeout here with 2:34 to go. Thanks a lot, Tonye. 2:34 to go, second quarter. 50-39, we've seen Scouting for you lead most of this first half and by as many as 15. While the closest that Point Streak has been able to come in this second quarter has been 7. They trail by 11, and they hope for a defensive stop here. Foster, meanwhile, wants an elbow J for himself. Can't get the friendly roll. Ball tipped twice. It goes out of bounds now near corner, and it will stay. Meanwhile, substitutions as Morrell returns. Play one of the guard spots. The 5'11" Devon Oliver will take a seat. Waters with the inbound. Kalilu gonna pull up. Three-pointer up and in. Nothing but net right in the face of the defender, Darius Paul.
And this is where, if you're this Point Streak team, you got to be, looking at yourself and kind of saying, hey, what can I do better on defense? This team is pretty much having their way, this Scouting for You team at every level on offense.
On pace for triple digits right now. Meanwhile, a steal. Cook ahead for Smith. Smith, a two-hand stuff.
And he's just so explosive and athletic. He has really surprised me.
Yeah, he played well yesterday as well. Andrevius Smith out of Tougaloo College, where he averaged over 23 a game. Three-pointer. There's the answer. It's Chad Watkins.
And Watkins is a guy who his name doesn't really stand out to you right off the bat, but he's been pretty much dialing up shots all day.
Yeah, 6'1" shooting guard, showing the touch. Meanwhile, Cook off the dribble, can't get that one to go off the glass, but Smith steals the outlet pass and misses the elbow jump shot. D's the rebound, and a foul is called on Cook. That, I believe, is team foul number 9 against Scouting for You. It may only be 8. But again, it's bonus time at 10 team fouls per quarter. Just over a minute to go until halftime, 55-42. Point streak, I'd imagine, would like to trim the deficit to single digits before the break.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Morrell, far side, it's Shivers for 3, in and out, no. Weak side rebound for Waters, he's got it for the defense. And now Scouting for You, right to left. Foster behind the back. Near side, Kalilu. Spin move on the baseline. Fadeaway is short. He took a shot, though, and draws a foul. And now he's a little shaken up. May have been poked in the eye there. That's Ishmael Kalilu, who played at Brandeis University up in Massachusetts. And he may have to shoot these free throws with one eye closed here with 46 seconds to go. Free throw up and good. Kalilu hit a three-pointer a moment ago and has played pretty well throughout the tournament. Chance to latch the largest lead for his club. It's 56-42. Missed the free throw, though. It goes off the front iron.
There's some weird noises. Going on.
Meanwhile, Morrell the other way. He's given room on the perimeter. Passes on the shot, lobs it inside to Dees. Dees, jump hook over Waters, no, but a foul. Bumped a little bit there by Waters, who didn't like the call.
Well, I mean, obviously, no player likes it when they get called for a foul, but when you get 10 fouls, I mean.
Right. Can't get too upset, I suppose.
No. But I guess they realize in a real game, those things add up.
Free throw up and in. I'd like to lobby that 10 personal foul rule to the commissioner of my 30 and older basketball league back in New Hampshire. That would be, I think, a very good rule change.
Or it could get out of hand.
Or it could get very out of hand.
I get 5 extra fouls, I might just,
right,
get a good one in.
Right. Karl Malone's coming out with those elbows. Meanwhile, it's 56-44 after the free throws. Foster is into the front court. We're down to 30 seconds, second quarter. Waters got the step on D's down the lane. Couldn't go, too strong off the glass. Rebound to the defense. It's Bridgeforth. And now the shot clock is off for the final 15 seconds. Morrell into the front court. Wants a screen. He's on the far wing. He's with Bridgeforth. Now a double team comes. He picks up the dribble. Has D's in the far corner. Fires it up. No. Followed up. No by Middleton. And there's the horn. That'll do it for the first half of play here at Las Vegas. The third place game led at the half by Scouting for You. Coach George pleased with the way things have gone. His club has looked good, especially on the offensive end, Danny. They lead 56-44. Back here in Las Vegas, start of the second half. Nick had asked this, Danny Johnson. Let's check in with Atonye Yangifa, who is standing live with Coach George.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so Coach, what has been some of the leading factors to help to your success here in the first half?
Guys coming in more disciplined, more focused, playing together. Yesterday we took a bad loss because we wasn't focused, wasn't doing the little things that count. But today, now we're back to doing the little things that count. And it translates on the scoreboard. You know, when you stay disciplined, do the little things that count, you don't wind up beating yourself. Instead, you end up starting beating the team. And hopefully we can finish this out.
And are there any adjustments that you need to make here in the second half?
Just staying focused.
All right, thank you. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Well, the winner gets the third place trophy. Is there a trophy, or I guess third place honors?
Yeah, I think it's just the honors.
Here for Session A. Session B begins tomorrow. Championship game on the A side was decided earlier as the Finnish select team beat Las Vegas Desert Storm, or the Nevada Desert Storm. It was a very high-scoring ball game. Both teams finished in triple digits. That's pretty impressive for just 40-minute ball games.
And this game here isn't out of reach. 12-point lead for this Scouting for You team, but it could go either way. We've seen halves turn teams around. Waters,
who had a good first half. We'll get you those numbers in a minute. Fadeaway there is short. Rebound off the bounce by Morrell. Yeah, Waters was 6 of 10, Danny, in that first half. 1 of 3 double-digit scores. Shot there is off the mark, and what do we have here? I think a whistle and a foul is coming underneath. The high man so far has been Andrevius Smith. How about 19 points in that first half to go with 5 rebounds? He missed just 1 shot from the floor, going 8 of 9.
Well, he was really having his way underneath the basket, especially early, kind of getting in there, getting second chance opportunities for his team and getting to the free throw line.
He had plenty of help from Lavelle Cook, who was 4 of 6, 12 points. So we mentioned Anton Waters had 13 of his own. Meanwhile, another whistle here. And I think it's a clock issue. We'll get that situated. On the other side for Point Streak, who trailed at the half, just 1 double-digit score. That was Brian Bridgeforth, 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting. He was 4 of 6 at the line as well. Did have help from Darius Paul, who scored 8 points, and Chad Watkins, 9 points on 2 of 2 from downtown. Still 56-44 here. Just underway third quarter from Las Vegas. Inside it's Shivers, tried to bank it. Followed up by Bridgeforth. Can't get the roll there. Ball has continued to be tipped in the far corner. Saved by Shivers. Bridgeforth across the lane. Broken up by Cook. Knocked out of bounds. With still plenty of time to shoot, 16 seconds. And Bridgeforth can't help but smile there. He had a couple taken away from him, seemingly, with a lid on the basket. Inbound looking for Paul. It went right off his right sneaker and out of bounds.
And plays like that, you just kind of shake your head and like, let's get it together, guys.
Yeah, a slight smile there from Paul as he taps himself on the chest and admits guilt. Smith for Waters, and there's an acrobatic finish by the 260-pound big man. 15 for Waters. He's looked good. His club back up 14 at 58-44. Morrell, drive and kick. Three-pointer. Too strong for Middleton, an air ball. Now Foster the other way. Foster down the lane, and blink and you miss it layup there. Got it with the right hand, blowing by 5 defenders.
Point Streak has to get the ball inside. They can't settle for threes. They can't settle for jumpers. They need to do exactly what's doing right now. Back it in, finish at the rim.
Down to 10 to shoot. They're down 16, largest margin. Runner up and in. Pretty little teardrop there for Nate Morrell. Just his second shot attempt so far. He's 2 of 2. And now he's called deep in the backcourt for a foul as he grabs a hold of Foster. 1 team foul each way through 2 minutes in the second half, 60-46. Here's Cook, who again, if you're just joining us, had 28 points 2 days ago as the tournament's high scorer. Been in double digits now in all 3 games, and he's going to head to the free throw line after getting hit across the forearm. Cook, a veteran, as you were saying, Danny, of this league. He's starting to become a staple of this tournament. And a guy who's played pro ball in a lot of different places, including most recently down in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, and he's played in this summer league and has been able to get opportunities from being here. So he's back looking for another chance to get going.
Free throw up and in. And you could see why. You know, he's got a tremendous skill set for sure. He's got 14 points in this one. His club up 16, 62-46. Paul on the far side now wants to go at Cook. Step back, fade, no. Offensive rebound, Middleton, no. Second try, no. Bridgeforth, no. Ball tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay right here.
And they keep getting their hands on those balls coming off the rim. Just can't get it in.
Yeah, that's 2 straight trips now where we've seen about 8 shot attempts, all from close range. Here's another, this time rejected by Mahinty. Outlet for Waters, 2-on-2. Waters, a giant leap step, no. Tip dunk, yes. Andrevius Smith trailed the play and got himself a gift at the rim with 2 hands.
And we talk so much about Lavelle Cook, but Andrevius Smith might be the heartbeat of this team right here.
He is certainly today. And a turnover is forced. Wild pass up top, out of bounds, thrown away by Shivers. And the lead is suddenly 18, largest margin of the game. 3 minutes in third quarter, 64-46. Waters wants more. Near side double team, skip pass. It's going to lead to Foster, who wants to slow it down. Shot clock down to 10. Foster inside Mahinty, catch and face. Mahinty double teamed, picks up the dribble, has Foster, 1 dribble, 3-pointer, no from the corner. Ball tipped near side, loose. Smith got his hands on it, but his left heel was on the sideline out of bounds.
And, I mean, Smith is everywhere the basketball is right now. All over the place, doing everything for his team.
Playing with a lot of energy. We've heard coaches talk throughout the tournament about NBA energy and how you really got to go 110% all the time. We've seen that certainly from Andrevius Smith so far.
Well, I mean, this is what you do. This is what you do for a living. You can't be out there looking fatigued, getting tired. You have to be able to go for all 40 minutes if you need to.
Yep, there's Paul off the second try. Finally, a putback that stays in, 64-48. Coach George tells his guys slow it down as Foster looks for Waters. And now Coach still sitting, by the way, waving his arms, directing traffic. Now it's Cook, back to the basket, 8 to shoot. Far baseline, he's got the smaller defender Watkins on him, goes to the fade and can't find it. Rebound for Morrell, and here comes point streak the other way. Morrell has Bridgeforth, the trailer. Bridgeforth to the rim, can't get the layup. Foster the other way, up ahead, Waters, uncontested, 2-hand tomahawk dunk. Got it with 2 hands, seemingly threw it down on the way down as well.
That's just defense to offense right there. Getting it done on the defensive end in transition and finishing on your end.
18-footer up and in. Watkins has the answer.
Watkins has been having a pretty solid game.
He has. Had a quiet 9 points in that first quarter. First half, I should say. Cook can't get an 18-footer of his own to drop. Rebounded D's, and point streak comes the other way down 16. Bridgeforth the trail, and there's the dunk. Well, we're starting to get some pace here, Danny, in the third quarter as these 2 teams look to go up and down.
Yeah, and I mean, I like it. Hey, get some excitement.
It's been high scoring throughout as we hit the midway point of this third quarter in the third place game. Still a 14-point lead. Watkins the steal at midcourt, and he's fouled. Well, that was a dunk preventing foul given by Foster at the half-court line that perhaps saved his team 2 points. That's a third on Watkins. Make that Foster. He's going to take a seat. Just the first team foul of this second half. Again, scouting for you. Only 2 on the other side as well for point streak. Meanwhile, the officials are talking it over. I would imagine that possibly was a clear path foul. But that's not under discussion, apparently. They're just going to reset the shot clock to 22 seconds. Meanwhile, Devon Oliver back on. The 5'11", 155-pound point guard who played sparingly in that first half. Oliver out of Great Falls University.
And it looks like it was a clear path foul.
Oh, okay.
So
my instincts were right then, huh?
Point streak will be able to get a free throw here.
Yep, they'll have the ball as well. We've got a timeout on the floor just past the midway point third quarter. 66-56 66-52 here in Las Vegas. Scouting for You has led most of the way. They led by as many as 18 moments ago.
Absolutely, especially with a team like this. They're learning the coach is learning them, they're learning each other, and you just got to hear them out. They're the ones out there playing.
Meanwhile, the clear path foul leads to a free throw here for Watkins, but he cannot capitalize. In and out on the shot attempt. They will get the basketball, however. They trail 66-52. Inside of 5 minutes here, third quarter. Watkins and Oliver are the guards. Paul, Bridgeforth, and Dees the front court for the home team in white. Watkins, tough fadeaway. No, but a foul. Had Smith all over him. Smith got a piece of the wrist on the shot block attempt. So Watkins, who missed a free throw a moment ago, right back to the line for 2 more attempts.
Watkins just asserted himself in this game, understanding that this is probably his last day, last game of this session. So definitely trying to make his presence felt. And I think he's been playing pretty solid. He wasn't a name, like I said, that stood out to me just off first glance, but he's pretty much putting on a solid performance here, doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he's trying to keep his team in the game, along with Bridgeforth. They're the 2 double-digit scorers for point streak, and they're back within a dozen. It's 66-54. 4.5 to go now, third quarter. Here's Smith, explosive baseline drive, partially blocked, but he stays with it and gets it to go on the second try.
So athletic, just blew right by Watkins.
68-54. Now it's Watkins. Gets rid of it for Oliver up top. Oliver inside for Dees. Jump hook short. And it's tipped out on the rebound to Cook. Cook, 3-on-1. Up top for Smith. Heads up. There's the alley-oop. Boy, those guys run the floor very well, showing some chemistry. 70-54, 16-point lead again.
2 of the most exciting players in this tournament being able to play on the same team, and it's special to watch.
Dees gets the putback off the Oliver miss. Rare field goal for Dees, the former standout at St. Bonaventure. He now has 6 points in the game. 70-56. Cook for Waters, 10 to shoot. Waters for a long 2, no good back iron. Offensive rebound, though, here on the near side. Taken by Smith to restart the shot clock. Smith guarded by the smaller Watkins. Now the bigger D's off the switch. Lobs it inside. It's tipped, but there it is to Mahiney, who scores it.
And they play so well together. They really seem to have meshed over these past 3 days.
Meanwhile, a travel is called against Paul. Paul gives a questioning look to the official and then checks out as Keith Shivers returns. Middleton is also back on, so it's Shivers, Middleton, Dees, along with Oliver and Watkins, the 5 for point streak. Scouting for You with Mahinty, Smith, Cook, Waters. And where's the 5th? He's hiding. There he is. That's Kalilu on the weak side. Inside of 3 minutes, 72-56. And Cook is going to match their largest lead with a left-hand layup. It's back up to 18. It's 74-56. Speaking of 18, that's 18 points now for Cook. Shivers trying to escape a double team, throws an elbow and is called for an offensive foul. He threw a forearm shiver right into the chin of Smith, and Smith is a little rattled and is helped up by his teammates. Smith apparently okay. That's the good sign. And with that, we have a timeout. 2:42 to go, third quarter.
And he seemed to have gotten hit. He's still trying to
like
shake it off.
Right in the chin for sure. Coach George giving his guys high fives. This club lost a close one yesterday in the winners bracket semifinals after grabbing a victory in day 1 of the tournament back on Friday, and they've looked good so far here, Danny, as well, leading most of the way and now leading by their largest margin, 18.
I mean, this team, like I said, they just seem to have meshed, right off the bat. They have a lot of talent on their team, and they're playing really well. It's not just one man. They're all really, moving the ball around. Everybody's getting a chance to get, their game going. Everybody getting a chance to, you know, make their presence felt out here.
Not a lot of turnovers either. Only 3 by my count. And they shot the ball lights out in that first half, nearly 70% as a club.
Well,
11 of 18 in the second quarter, 12 of 16 in the first quarter. Grand total of 68% to begin the third.
I mean, that's amazing. And as you mentioned, they were on their way to, you know, triple digits.
Right.
And I
And
mean,
still
still are, yeah.
Yeah, they're ahead of the pace, 74 points, still 2:42 to go in this third quarter. They lead by 18. Point streak, though, still plenty of time to put together a comeback. It's going to have to start here on the defensive end as Cook gets set to inbound. It'll be Cook, Waters, Mahinty, Kalilu, and Smith, who is okay. The 5 in maroon. Well, it's Shivers, Dees, Oliver, the point guard, along with Watkins and Middleton. Shot clock at 10. Cook splits the defenders, throws an alley-oop to Mahinty, but it's going to be waved off. A moving screen is called against Kalilu, who's not happy.
Foul number 2 is got to do Ishmael Kalilu, his third.
Meanwhile, Watkins puts his head down, goes to the rim, had it blocked by Smith. Smith comes down with it, throws a football pass outlet to Waters, who throws it up, and then it's Kalilu who throws it down.
This is Lob City right here.
Wow, that's a
Everybody's
fast break right
dunking.
there. Everybody getting in on the action. Meanwhile, Watkins wants a 3, and he's got it. That'll quiet the other bench for sure.
Silence, sir.
76-59 inside of 2 minutes, third quarter. Pace breakneck there a moment ago. Coach George now standing at the head of the bench, trying to direct the traffic on offense. Mahinty, spin move, far block, fadeaway, short. Smith back up and in. Boy, he's had at least 4 or 5 of those putbacks right at the rim. Really impressive. 19 points in the first half. He's added to that in this third quarter.
Well, it's funny because Smith plays like the post player and Waters plays like a guard.
Right. Meanwhile, Watkins is starting to really feel it. Another 3 from downtown. He's really the go-to guy in this third quarter on offense and is trying to keep his team in the game.
He's definitely a sharp shooter.
78-62 as we close in on 1 minute to go, third quarter. Cook down the lane at Dees. No. Tip dunk by Waters. It's going to be waved off as Cook was fouled first and will head to the free throw line for 2.
And his first step is just so explosive. He gets to the rim, 1 dribble, and he's ready to finish through people.
Yep. Yeah, he maximizes those steps for sure. It's kind of a high dribble, a choppy dribble. And with those dreadlocks, he reminds me a lot of Latrell Sprewell. I don't know if that's before your time or not, Danny, but he certainly reminds me of Spree for sure. There's the free throw. 80-62. And we're at 1 minute to go here. Again, Scouting for You matching their largest lead. Here's the hot hand, Watkins. Will he stay hot? Wants to pull up Jay along 2. This time, no good back iron. Dees tries to keep it alive. Does. No, he doesn't. Whistle there first. They'll wave off the bucket from Oliver and award the basketball back to Scouting for You. They got a chance to push their lead up to 20 here with 44 seconds to go, third quarter. Smith wants to slow it down. He's got Watkins on him deep in the far wing. Lobbed inside, Mahinty catching face, spins to his left, he's double teamed, he fires one up, no. Waters the offensive rebound, the banker, no. Back to Mahinty, a third try, a dunk attempt won't go, and finally it's Waters over the shoulder.
So much excitement.
I mean, they're going at it on the offensive glass for sure, and they're going hard. 82-62, shot clock off, down to 12 seconds. Bounce pass, taken near corner. Oliver wide open. Three-pointer, though, off the side of the backboard. Dees has his back, though, and scores on a right-hand baby hook. 6 seconds to go. 82-64. Cook at midcourt. Up ahead. Smith looks at the clock, pulls up, elbow. Jay can't beat the buzzer. Nonetheless, another big quarter for the boys in maroon. Scouting for You, leading by as many as 20 a moment ago. They're up 18, 82-64 after 3 quarters. And we're ready to check in on the sideline with Atonye Yingfi.
In the huddle, Coach Rick told the team to keep pushing the ball in transition, utilize the mismatches in the post, and make the appropriate reads. He told the guys, rebound and make the right reads inside, and you guys will come out with the victory. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Antonia. Again, strong performance from Coach George and his boys, as they've had contributions, as you mentioned, Danny, really up and down the roster. We expected Cook to play well, but he's had plenty of help, including from Andrevius Smith, who's perhaps having his best game of the tournament.
I mean, Andrevius Smith, Waters. I mean, these guys, even on his last possession right here, you saw other guys getting in there on the action a little bit. And Mahinty, I was trying to think of his name for a second. Mahinty almost caught somebody right there on the putback.
Yep.
But I mean, Mahinty's had a solid game as well. You know, really getting in there in the post, establishing position, and getting some buckets.
Yep. Kalilu has played well. Foster, and as you mentioned, the 6'9" Mahinty has been good as well. 82-64. Final 10 minutes of regulation coming up, and perhaps still enough time for Point Streak to get back into it, but as you mentioned, they have not been very consistent on the offensive end so far, or on the defensive end, for that matter.
Yeah, and I think it's a mixture. Defense definitely has to be present, though. When you have a team who can score 100 points, you got to keep them from scoring 100 points, or else you have to score 101.
Yep. Yeah, we saw a treat in the championship round earlier between the Finnish Select team and the Nevada Desert Storm. Both teams finished in triple digits. And we may see that here from Scouting for You. Here's Waters backing his way in. Beautiful move. Able to shake off the defender Middleton and score 2 more. Waters is having perhaps his best game.
Waters is what you call in his bag. He is in his bag today. Many tricks in that bag.
Yes. He's been inside and outside and on the glass as well. Shot there is short from Paul. The rebound wrestled away by Smith, and they're going to get Bridgeforth for the foul, who had his right arm kind of caught in the cookie jar there. 20-point deficit, and a chance to add on to that here for the first time for Scouting for You. It's Foster. He's going to have a left-hand dribble. A little bit of pressure here from Morrell as Foster backs his way into the front court. Looks for a double ball screen up top. Frees himself up. Long 2 is good. He had his foot on the 3-point line. That's Foster Jr. We haven't talked much about him, but he's looked solid as well and has handled the ball handling duties for the most part. Meanwhile, Morrell able to slice right to the rim, get 2 more.
And the pace right here is just what this team needs. They're down 20, but if they can get some stops, which right on point.
Yeah,
Scouting for You comes down and scores, but I was going to say if they can get some stops and, you know, keep getting some transition buckets, it could get back down to about a 10-point game.
That's going to be easier said than done, though, with shots like that, as Kalilu just drained one right in the face of the defender. Meanwhile, Bridgeforth, little baby hook, won't go. Rebound tipped out to Smith, and now they want to run. Kalilu will slow it down for Scouting for You. Has the trailer. It's Smith again. Down the lane, little scooper, no. Little tip, no. Ball poked back out, though, to the near wing, and a new shot clock as Foster will put it on his hip and reset the O. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. 88-66 now.
And Smith's athleticism is just incredible to watch. He misses his shot, but is still able to get down and back up to get his rebound.
Foster with a teardrop. Gets that to go on the far side of the lane. And this club has hit the 90-point plateau just 2 minutes into the fourth. Bridgeforth, little leaner, got it to go. Bridgeforth having another solid game. He had 16 in that first half. And has added to that total so far in the second. 90-68. Kalilu leaves it for Smith, and he blows the layup. That's really his first mistake of the ball game. 3-on-1 the other way. Paul to the rim, blocked by Mahinty, and then it's Bridgeforth who lost it off his fingertips.
I mean, that's kind of, you know, what's been happening for this team today. Like, nothing has really been going right.
Right. Right. We saw a string of misses right near the rim to begin the second half from this club. They do get a steal here. Paul off the steal from Morrell. No. Bridgeforth tries to stick with it, but is stripped. Waters now the other way. 3-on-2. Bounce pass right side, up and under for Kalilu. Boy, they run the floor well, don't they, Danny?
I mean, this transition offense by this scouting for you team is just amazing.
92-68, largest lead. Three-pointer, though, up and in for Morrell.
Morrell is coming to this fourth quarter, you know,
Yeah,
pretty hot.
He only took one shot in the first half, but he's played well since. Meanwhile, Paul trying to strip Mahinty. Mahinty, 2 big steps along the baseline, leads to a layup. Mahinty adding to his total. He's approaching double figures. In fact, I think he's there unofficially with 10. Meanwhile, shot there off the mark by Shivers. Long rebound to Kalilu. And here comes scouting for you the other way, and a foul is called on the perimeter on Shivers after the reach-in. We're going to see Lavelle Cook return. Former MVP of this Global Basketball Summer League. He's back on the floor, replacing Waters, who gets a hearty handshake, or high five, I should say, from Coach George. 6.5 to go, fourth quarter. Again, largest lead on the board for scouting for you, 94-71. And they want more. Cook inside, Mahinty, high catch, missed the dunk though. Couldn't throw it down with the right hand. Shivers now the other way, 3-on-1. Has Bridgeforth, left hand no, but a foul on Cook. Cook got him in the side of the head. Bridgeforth okay, and some sportsmanship there from Cook to make sure he was okay.
That's his second foul. To the line for team point trick number 2, Brian Bridgeforth.
So here's Bridgeforth. Former standout at Washington Adventist University, where he averaged a double-double of nearly 19 and 12. Was the first overall selection in the Session A draft back on Thursday. And has, I think, lived up to the hype pretty much. He's been in double figures in now all 3 games. Adds to his total there by adding, or hitting the second. He goes 1 of 2. Scouting for you now, facing a little zone press. They're going to beat it left to right. Foster, plenty of room here near side. Going to skip it over to Cook. Up top, Kalilu, 10 to shoot. Foster will, and miss off the front iron. Weak side rebound to Bridgeforth. Inside of 6 minutes. Still a 22-point ball game at 94-72. Lobbed underneath for Paul. Wasn't quite ready as it goes off his fingertips out of bounds. We got a media timeout here as we approach the midway point of this fourth quarter. The third place game of Session A here in Las Vegas. 94-72. Coach George and scouting for you. They've been in front most of the day, and they're up big here.
Well, this game, 5 minutes left, and I would say what this team could do going forward, but it's the last game, so,
yeah,
you know.
Now, from what I understand, a few of the standout players from Session A will be invited back for Session B to join the European pros, basically, and I'd imagine we'll see a few players from this game that get the invite.
For sure. I mean, if we're just talking based off of talent, you would be thinking of Lavelle Cook, Andrevius Smith, and honestly, even the Waters, you know, could possibly be invited back. I'm not sure how they do it. You know, maybe take 1 or 2 from each team that kind of stood out to be invited. And I also know the Nevada Desert Storm team is from this area, so
yep.
I mean, they played in the championship game. You would think maybe they would be invited. The team would be invited back.
Yeah, they played well under Coach McIntyre for sure. They won a couple of close games and then were really there blow for blow with the Finnish select team in the championship round, scoring over 100 in defeat. And some guys certainly stood out on that roster, as you mentioned, made up mostly of local area athletes. So I wouldn't be surprised either if some of those guys return for Session B, which begins tomorrow. And of course, Session B, every game will be featured right here on Global Basketball TV. Cook the miss, Paul the rebound, the outlet to Watkins. Watkins the alley-oop, but it's missed there by Bridgeforth as he couldn't quite bring it in with the right hand. Out of bounds, back over to scouting for you. 94-72. This was a 14-point ball game at the midway point. Here's Paul with a steal, and then Cook poked it right back loose. Taken by Foster. He has Cook. Cook, 2 big steps to the rim, and there's the right-hand layup. Well, Cook continuing to add on to his points. He's up over 20 again for the 3rd straight game. Three-pointer is off target by Watkins, and then Danforth stripped on his way up by Mahinty. It'll stay at this end with 13 to shoot.
And this Point Streak team still playing hard.
Yeah.
Still definitely, because it's more than just wins out here. They're still playing. Scouts want to see, coaches want to see, how do you play in defeat? How do you play? How do you keep your composure? If things aren't going right in the game, what are you doing to keep your team together?
And I think that's just as important as the stats, really, at the end of the day. Here's Watkins to the rim. He's certainly played well and played hard today, as he's led the way for Point Streak in the scoring department. Got the left-hand layup there. Meanwhile, Kalilu down the lane, and he's going to have a chance for a three-point play here. A goaltend is called as Kalilu was hit on the arm by Watkins. The ball was slapped on the way down off the glass by Paul. So that is a goaltend. Count the 2 for Kalilu. And again, a chance for one more for the former standout from Brandeis University. And we talked about it, Danny, the 100-point plateau. They're right there now at 98. Make it 99 after the made free throw.
They've been playing so well.
25 the lead now. That is the largest of the ball game. Morrell near side. Stripped, and then a late whistle signifies a foul here. Reach in by Kalilu. Gives a questioning look at the official. Kalilu with 4. That's just the first team foul of this 4th quarter for the club. On the dribble drive, little floater, no. Bridgeforth, the putback dunk attempt, no. Morrell has it again. Whips it out for Watkins, passes on the 3 from the wing, goes inside to Paul. Count the bucket and the foul. Waters tried to draw the charge. Instead, he's hit with a foul.
It was a really strong move underneath by Paul, making his way into the paint, saying, hey, I won't be stopped today.
Yeah, Paul's got some good size. He's played pretty well. They've got him listed at 6'9", 230 out of Robert Morris University, where he averaged a cool 20 points and 9 rebounds a game. 99-76, just over 4 minutes remaining 4th quarter. The winner gets the 3rd place honors of the Session A tournament. Championship already decided. We talked about it. Finnish select team, they beat the Nevada Desert Storm earlier by a score of 112 to 101. Co-MVPs there were Ortiz. And who was the other? Oh, Tim Coleman. He played excellent. Ortiz and Coleman. Ricardo Ortiz and Timothy Coleman. Ortiz out of Wiley College and Coleman of the New Jersey Institute of Technology, as we mentioned. Meanwhile, Cook off the mark here on the near side wing. That 3 won't go. Paul going to go the other way into the front court, behind the back dribble, avoids 1 man, avoids 2, down the lane, throws it up, reverse, dunk is there for Bridgeforth.
And Bridgeforth showing out a little bit, showing what he can do.
Little style points there, adding to his total and cutting the deficit to 20. Meanwhile, a foul is called here on the near side, a reach in on Watkins. It's the 4th team foul against Point Streak. Down to 3.5 to go, 4th quarter. Watkins hit with his 3rd. And now again, it's Cook here left to right. He's got Bridgeforth on him one-on-one, wants to go at him. Goes down the lane behind the back, stripped by Paul. Paul the steal. Up ahead, Watkins 3-on-1, and he'll finish it himself with the right hand. A little bit of a late spurt here from Point Streak. Trailed by as many as 25 a moment ago. They're down to 18. Well, here's Waters with a hammer dunk. Boy, that's a pretty move. He's got some footwork. He's got some ball handling skills, and he certainly knows how to finish with authority.
I mean, he may be my favorite player out here. Very well may be.
He's on the short list for me as well. Here's Bridgeforth. Waters going to take the inbounds. Going to come right to left here near side and then skip it back up top. Now Cook with a look. The offense, though, seemingly in no hurry as the shot clock is down to 10. 101-83. Right-hand move, won't go there for Mahinty. Right to left now. Watkins open, deep three, up and in. Boy, he's filling it up now.
Watkins put together a really good game here today in front of these coaches.
101-86. Down to 15, closest this club has been in the fourth quarter. And with that, we have a timeout, 2:16 to go fourth quarter. Nick Anastas along with Danny Jackson here courtside, and oh, they're just teasing us now with the pizza right in front. We've been working hard, we're hungry, and we can't touch what we can smell.
2 more minutes.
Yeah. The countdown is on.
The countdown is official, unless this game goes into overtime, and then somebody hit the Buffalo Wild Wings button.
Right, that would be certainly a storyline in its own right. 101-86, still enough time, I guess, and as we've seen point streak heat up here over the last couple of minutes, I suppose anything is possible. We'll try and get you some numbers, but they may not be readily available after the game. If they are, we'll give them to you, but either way, we're going to make way for the fourth and final game, not only of the day, but of Session A. And hopefully you and I will get to relax for a minute and get some food in our systems.
Hopefully.
Good crowd here in Vegas. Been a successful first 3 days of this Global Basketball Summer League, now in its 10th summer. Organized and began back in 2008 by Daryl Reshaw, former pro, spent a long time playing ball overseas. Mr. Reshaw is in the building after welcoming in the Session B players at the Golden Nugget Hotel earlier today. He is in the gym, and he's always got that backpack on. I want to know what's in that backpack. He's constantly flaunting that black bag.
The world may never know.
Meanwhile, we're heading towards 2 minutes. We'll have to see if Antonier can get to the bottom of it, our side lad reporter. Here's Foster, spins to his right, and a beautiful finish over Bridgeforth. With Foster, he's looked good in flashes as well.
Absolutely. He's another name that didn't stick out on paper, but has put together a really good game here. Yeah. I mean, when you're on a really good team full of talent, that talent really brings out, other talent. It really makes it so that everyone is able to show their ability.
A lifting tide raises all boats, so to speak.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Cook on the far side, going to bring it in against the press. Trying to avoid a double team there on the far sidelines, trying to spin middle, and now has Foster. Shot clock, though, is down to 7. Kalilu to the rim, guarded well by Watkins, forces a short miss, but it's tipped back out to Cook, and there's a new shot clock. Down to 1:20. Cook looks at the scoreboard and then decides he's got time as an ally. A little give and go, though, is broken up. Middleton poked it loose. It's off the glass. Outlet taken by Bridgeforth. Near side for Watkins, who lays it in. Well, it looks like they're going to score 90-plus and still lose. That's respectable for point streak because they trail 103-90. We're inside of a minute to go. Foster is double teamed, steps through it. Has Kalilu at the free throw line, dumps it underneath to Cook, and there's a right-hand layup. 2 more for Cook. Another outstanding scoring performance for the pro from the Dominican Republic. 105-90, 40 seconds to go. Watkins had it partially blocked, but there's the cleanup job by Middleton, who adds to his total. 105-92. Full court press still in effect by point streak. Waters trying to show the handle. He does. Breaks a double team, goes down the lane, and draws a foul.
And Waters still playing hard to the very end. 30 seconds left. He's still pushing it, trying to get to the basket.
He may have had his best game of the tournament today. Certainly impressed you and I with really his skill set, which is very vast. He can do a little bit of everything, including break the press like we just saw.
Well, when coaches ask, what's your position? He's like, I don't have a position, coach. Put me in the game.
That's a good answer. Certainly has a power forward's body type. or is listed at 6'7", 250.
But guard skills.
Yep.
And really good footwork. And can rise up.
Yep.
Couple dunks here today.
Played good basketball for Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, where he shot over 50% from the floor. Misses the free throw there. Rebound goes to Point Streak. There's about a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Bridgeforth for three. His club trailing 106-92. That won't go. The follow will, though, for Watkins. 106-94. And they're going to press till the very end here, Danny, even with the shot clock now turned off with under 20 seconds to go. Foster going to race into the front court, pull it back out with the right hand. And the Dogs have officially been called off here with 10 seconds. Coach says no foul. So, the third place honors go to Scouting for You. Coach George and his guys are going to celebrate tonight as they wrap up Session A with a 2-1 record following a 106-94 barn burner here this afternoon as they defeat Point Streak.